Hello, this is Debbie Kaufman, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm going to show you how to make this card using the sophisticated sled. I did case this from my sister Lynn Starzl. I did change this up a little bit so you'll see a little different version. Here you can kind of see it. I used the textured folder instead. So what I used was the sophisticated sled dies, and we're actually going to, or stamp set, and then we're going to use the dies to build our sled. So you have your sled. If you stamp it, you can die cut it. You can also use this to build your sled. For your ice skates, wreath, this is part of building your sled. The extra piece is up here. Your greenery, which I've showed you before on a previous video, this is the die that I use to cut all the greenery with. Flowers, cardinal, your blades for your ice skates, and one piece that I don't have in here right now, it's up in my thing, is for the laces for your skates. So you gotta remember to get that back in there. And then we're also using for the texture is the Birchwood 3D embossing folder. And you can put your white in there and then cut it to the size you need. I just cut the pieces I need and put 4 pieces in here and die cut that. It's a new folder that's out. So we will get started. Okay. In the kit is your balmy blue, and that is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. We'll fold that. The inside piece is 4 by 5 1/4, and we will be stamping on that. These pieces are from the Golden Greenery designer paper, and they're 3/4 inch by 3 3/4. A great way to use your designer paper. Here's the textured folder, the Birchwood. Part of the sled that I cut out of gold. This is also part of the sled that goes on here. And then the top part of the sled I have inside the kit, the little plastic thing, so it wouldn't get lost. So what we can do is just go ahead and do some assembly real quick here before we do anything else. I want to get the sled together. Now I use my little silicone mat, and I know there's super easy ways out there to do it. I'm still working on it. I'm going to kind of line up. I got a couple holes I want to poke out of here. I don't think okay. So make sure your holes are poked out. And I'm going to just adhere this to here. So the best way that I can do this is I copied my sister, and I'm going to add a little bit of glue here, here, and just I should put it on the right side, huh? And just kind of line up. Actually, I need the, I'm not doing this very well at all, am I? Get the holes lined up with the the crossbars. And it could have gone up a little higher maybe. I'm going to just take some of this stuff out. This will go across here. So I will add a little bit of glue to this. Okay. And then the greenery will go here. Isn't that pretty? So all I did, whoops, is not let this dry good, did I? I added a little bit of glue there. Make sure your greenery is the right side up. And then in the packet, I'll take out my cardinal and my embellishments. And I'm going to go ahead and put the embellishments because that helps hold it down a little bit. Okay. So that's your sled. Now you've got glue on the back of it from your silicone pad. So I'm just going to go ahead and set this aside and move my silicone mat. Okay. The next thing I want to do is I want to add some snowflakes, just to add a little dimension to it. So before we adhere anything, I'm going to use my balmy blue, which I don't have. Let me pause this for a minute while I find it. It was in front of me. Okay, so I don't know, do you guys have trouble keeping track of things? I do. Okay, so I'm going to just add some snowflakes. Now some of this is not going to show. And while I have my envelope out, I'm going to add, again, the same thing across the envelope. Okay, so we'll put that aside. Put this aside. The next thing I want to do is, normally we say to layer this, but we're not going to today because we need to put our designer series paper in there between the two layers. So I am just going to put this in the corner first. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And we're going to put that in the corner, just okay. And then you have your strips of designer paper. And this one will go here. You can put them in any way you want to put them. This one will go in the middle first, and then I can adjust the other two after that. So this will go in the middle to the edge. They are different sizes to give it a little bit more. If you want to bring that out here, I just have them kind of, and then this one will go here. All right, I'm going to set that there. And then we need to stamp the sentiment and the inside. This is a scrap piece that you have when you're cutting your white paper, your white cardstock. And I save these scraps because Stampinup actually makes stamps that fit inside these little pieces. So I think that's great. Let it snow. I'm going to stamp it to the left. Because I want room for my cardinal. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to set that aside, and I'm actually going to move my mat, and I am going to stamp my wreath in garden green, but I'm going to stamp it off a few times. So I'm going to stamp it on my glass mat here. So we are going to do that. One, two, three. And that might be a little dark, so let's maybe, no, we'll leave it because I've got it smeared on the other side. Take my rag and clean up my area, and want to make sure that that's clean. And I'm then going to well, let's see if I can find it now. Okay. We're now going to stamp our sentiment across that. And you know, that is not going to work because I've got to have my wreath lighter. So I'm going to go grab another piece of paper, piece of cardstock. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. So what I'm going to do is I got my grid paper out and put my cushion here to help make it not quite so dark. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth generation. That's much better. And then we are going to then stamp across there. See, that's much better. I'll show you I think I threw the other one away already. But that makes the difference with the mat and then the fourth generation. Okay, so now we have that. Okay, so what we need to do now is add this and then add our sleigh, and we've got our card done. I'm going to close all my ink pads. So This is going to go here. And here's your sled. And you can actually dimensional that up if you'd like. I am not going to because I want to dimensional this up and I want it to be able to go in the envelope. So I'm going to go ahead and just glue this down. And just do make sure it doesn't go off the paper because you need to be able to have it fit in the envelope. Okay. Now I'm going to cut this off a little bit more to have room for my cardinal. And I'm going to dimensional this up here. And I will use the small dimensionals for this. And we'll just put that across here. And then I just glued the cardinal down. It's got to dry a minute. Okay, while that's drying, we'll go ahead and add this to the inside. Case this card from Lynn Starzl. She's my upline, and she has a video on YouTube as well, which is much better than this one, but that's the way it is. So now we have our card. I don't know what I did with the embellishments. They're in the kit somewhere. I took them out and they're gone. But in the kit, you do have embellishments to go on here. So I don't know where they are, as usual. Anyway, this is Debbie, and you have a great day. See you in the next video.